Right now you're hearing all your favorite music on your favorite station. But wait, there's more.
More songs from the artists you love on exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Just open the Odyssey app and click exclusive stations, then a genre to dive deeper into.
A station might be just music, or maybe hosted by Ed Sheeran, Chris Martin, or one of your favorite DJs.
Across alternative, pop,
country, soft rock,
Latin, R&B,
kids,
and even more.
Get more with exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases, even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Great partnership now between the Rock Girls and Mary's Place. And Mary's Place does a great job helping the homeless find a place to live. Lots of inclusive shelter and services for women, children, and families who are homeless in the Pacific Northwest. Mary's Place makes it happen for them. And you can too. You want to make a donation? It's pretty simple. Just go to KISW.com or visit marysplaceseattle.org.
Let's play B-Migs.
It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. B-Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! B-Migs, you're a loser.
It is time to beat Migs. It's time to turn down for tacos.
Turn down for what?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Or burritos, as I noticed Vicky B went to the taco truck to get a burrito yesterday.
It was totally coincidental. My dad's like, I kind of want some tacos from the taco truck.
Nice.
And we got them, and they were great.
I saw that burrito picture, and that was a pretty large burrito right there you had in your hand.
And it had everything in it. I got chicken.
Nice.
I know you guys were wondering.
I was.
Oh, yeah.
I saw you more as a pork person, but
Oh, man. Yeah, right? Pardon me?
I do love myself some pork and beef.
Okay, then. Flag that, somebody.
Let's get to our contestant. We got John in Belfair to take on Steve. John, are you there, sir?
I am here.
Excellent. What's he playing for today? Tickets to check out. Oh, man, perfect timing. On April 20th, 420, tickets to see Cheech and Chong at the Emerald Queen Casino, baby.
Yeah, man.
Get more information at KISW.com, and if you want tickets, they're available now at Ticketmaster.com. All right, Steve, get out of here. Get out! For those playing at home, John will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. John, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
In 1992, what Canadian city hosted the first World Series game ever played outside the United States?
Ontario.
No.
Ottawa.
No.
British Columbia.
No. Cheerios was first introduced in what year of the 40s as Cheerios?
44.
No.
56.
No.
He said maybe 45 and 46.
Okay.
So he's out.
Yeah. What drink is made from fermented water, yeast, and honey?
Mead.
Yes. Who wrote the novel series The Green Mile?
Pass.
What is the capital of Alaska?
Juneau.
Yes. Learn to Fly by the Foo Fighters was released in which year of the late 90s?
6, 7, 8.
No. In which country would you find the state of Tabasco?
Europe.
No.
Pass.
Jack Skellington is the protagonist of which Tim Burton movie?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah! And John, you get 3 correct.
Yeah, John, you missed it. He said city, not province.
Yeah.
So you were right. You were right in Ontario, but that's where the city is. It is Ontario.
Classic Steve blunder right there.
That was a Steve blunder right there.
Wow. Well, we'll have to see if Steve does the exact same thing.
Oh, well.
Probably not.
He won't.
Yeah, I know.
He's a jerk and tries to win.
That's right. Sorry, Steve. You're a jerk for trying to win. That's right. Always compete.
How about the Rev agrees with me? That's great.
Great. I love this. Steve, are you ready?
Go Hawks.
Thanks, Russell.
I always compete.
Separation's in the preparation, baby.
I'm prepared.
In 1992, what Canadian city hosted the first World Series game ever played outside the United States?
Toronto.
Yes. Cheerios was first introduced in what year of the 40s as Cheery Oats?
1944.
No.
1945.
No.
1949.
No.
Oh.
What drink is made from fermented water, yeast, and honey?
Lemonade?
No.
What? Tea?
No.
Kombucha.
No. Who wrote the novel series The Green Mile?
What's that guy?
That guy.
Steven Spielberg.
No.
George Lucas.
No.
John Holmes.
Jacob.
No. What is the capital of Alaska?
Juneau.
Yes.
I don't think he does.
Learn to Fly by Foo Fighters was released in what year of the late 90s?
1999.
Yes. In which country would you find the state of Tabasco?
Which country is it? Mexico.
Yes. Jack Skellington is the protagonist of which Tim Burton movie?
Oh, Danny's movie. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes. In which decade did the 3 Mile Island nuclear disaster occur?
That would be the 30s.
No.
20s.
No.
40s.
No.
50s.
Wow. No.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correct, Steve. That's a terrible score, but you win.
Oh, winner. Yeah,
5-3.
John, I'm disappointed in you. I know you could have done better.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right, well, okay.
All right.
You didn't like that tough love.
Nope.
Yeah.
Simply the best.
I don't think
Steve Mix.
this is the right song.
Yeah. Well, I was better than the rest.
He's simply the best right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's simple. I'll give him that.
One of the few that John did know was that fermented water, yeast, and honey make mead.
I'll give him that because I didn't know that one.
I don't
So
even know what
yeah,
the hell
John.
that is.
Yeah.
It's basically a honey wine that they'll drink at Ren fairs.
Oh
It's
yeah.
delicious.
Oh, it's really sweet.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I am.
right.
All right.
Cheerios.
Cheerios.
Was first Cheerios in what year? The 40s.
You can tell me. I don't
Yeah, it's
care.
41.
Yeah.
You can tell me I don't care.
Well, I didn't give any sort of like.
Yeah, there was no hint. So
Yeah,
I
there
had
was
to-
no hint.
Yeah, I had to try to guess like 10 guesses. I didn't know it was called Cheery Oats before Cheerios. That makes sense as to what the whole name of it. Like, eat your oats. They're cheery. Okay.
Yeah, right. Who wrote The Green Mile? Before it was a movie, it was a novel.
Yeah, was that Stephen King?
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Spielberg.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. I'll
And then also you tried to guess really early for the decade in which the 3 Mile Island nuclear disaster occurred.
it was the 70s, wasn't it?
It was the 70s.
Yeah, it was a lot sooner than you thought, Steve.
Yeah, we didn't really have nuclear power in the 20s, 30s, or 40s or any of those, so.
Though, as far as you know,
Well, that's true. The
right.
Illuminati could have done something there.
anybody could have had something.
Congratulations, Steve. You won with 5 correct.
That means caller number 5. Guess what you're doing? You're checking out Cheech and Chong at the Emerald Queen Casino in April. Caller
Fort
number
Thwomp.
5 on Fort Thwomp, yeah. 206-421-ROCK. Caller number 5. Speaking of Steven Spielberg, you have him on the brain, Steve, because he's actually standing up to Netflix going, you know what? I don't think your movie should count towards the Oscars.
Come on, man. Oh, look, get off there's lawn kind of attitude. Like, you need to make the adjustments. Times have changed in how people view things.
At least he's on the Academy's Board of Governors, so he has a reason to speak about it as opposed to just being some guy. But he also does make movies that go to the theaters. And this is because Roma was a Netflix movie. It did win 3 Academy Awards. It lost out on Best Picture. But I think the Spielbergs are really afraid of the fact that no one's going to go to the movie theater to see movies anymore, especially if you start realizing the Academy Award-winning movies could actually be on your TV.
Yeah. Oh, man. But, I mean, if it's a good film and it's a film, I don't know, man. I think you're getting a little too nitpicky.
But here's the thing. If there's a movie that was made for television, that would qualify for an Emmy, and so there are awards for television-based programming. So I wonder what the difference is. Like, what is the difference if we used to award TV movies with Emmys, and that's fine. Why all of a sudden do they need Oscars since it's one's for TV, one's for the movies? That I don't get.
They might have to just rethink how they do things because, I mean, it's anything on streaming technically on television.
Yeah.
I mean, you could watch on your phone. Does that count? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if we want to get super nerdy about
It's always
this.
about the big screen and the small screen, and now the even smaller screens, really, like you said, with phones and stuff.
Man, I don't know why, but in my head, I would feel like if, like, the Grammys were like, no, because it wasn't on a major label, you can't be up for a Grammy. You know, I mean, it's just like if something's good and it's a film, I think it deserves to have an acknowledgement or an award for being a great film.
Right, and at one point they will end up being like on demand. I can watch movies with like certain apps, and that just doesn't make sense to me. People work hard. It's a form of art. They need to be recognized for that.
Recognized.
So then, are we going to have Oscars for television shows?
That's what the Emmys are.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Steven's saying about any movies that are made for TV. That's what the Emmys
But is there
are
a
for.
best TV movie category?
I think there is. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I think.
Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Television Movie.
Yeah,
is one of them. So yeah, they have their own TV movie awards
because there are some great shows out there. The Sopranos, arguably, I don't know why I picked them up, or The Wire. I mean, I'm just thinking of really, really great shows that are acknowledged as great shows. They could have easily won an Oscar, and they've got much more material than a regular movie.
But one texter has a good point. Why not streaming have their own category
in the Oscars?
Either.
Interesting. Yeah. Here's what I believe. I believe it's because Spielberg and those guys are afraid that people won't go to the movies anymore. It's all about money. Who cares about awards? It's got to be, follow the money, and I think that's really the issue.
This just reminds me of when they freaked out about, VCRs, about DVDs, about any sort of new thing like streaming originally. Like everyone's freaking out about how it's going to change movies. People still go to movies. Mm-hmm. There's an experience that you're going to have there. People freaked out with big screen TVs.
Now, hold on a second, though. Steve is a guy that does not go to movies, and I wonder if he would if he couldn't see them anywhere else. You know what I mean? If you knew it wasn't going to come to on demand,
no.
Yeah, you just would say
super rare. I wouldn't be a good person to use for your argument. Maybe one movie a year, and what is that going to do?
Yeah, and Martin Scorsese's doing something for Netflix. See, that's the problem, is that the movie industry, just like the music industry, Steve, and I think we can make this comparison. The music industry, those record labels used to control everything, and now as a musician, you can get your music out there. You don't have to go through them, and I think that's the problem.
Streaming.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with Hollywood, is that, well, if you want to make a great movie, you got to go through us. And Netflix is saying, no, actually, no, you don't. We don't have to convince some idiot that we should make this movie. Netflix will put that movie out there if you're willing to make it. And so that's what people like Roma have done.
Yeah, but I mean, they've gone down the road, like everyone Texas says, Rose Unlimited screens to qualify for an Oscar, no different than any other movie. It's like Spielberg's just all butthurt because something's good. And they've gone through the proper channels. It's not like anyone made a special exception for them. They know that, okay, we have to put it in the theaters to be acknowledged for an Oscar, and we did that, and still it's not good enough for old man Spielberg.
That is a good point. They did do what they had to do.
Right.
And and still Spielberg's crying about it. I think, if anything, it was probably a bigger pain in the ass for them to have to put it in movies.
Sure, but they did the right thing. Yeah. They did the right thing, like as if that was a bad...
Spike Lee didn't win either. That's too bad.
One person says maybe Spielberg should start making good movies again before he starts slamming Netflix.
Oh, there we go. That's just out there.
Fired. Also, what theaters are short films available at?
Usually the landmark ones.
Yeah.
Like the small indie ones.
I mean, it's just like he's getting all pissed off because something good came out that took attention away from probably something that he made.
Yeah, it's awful tough not to have him look like he's the old guy here. It really, really is. I don't know what good reason he has for this. I think that the delivery system doesn't matter, and that's really what we're talking about. With music, we could argue genre and categories, but we don't argue delivery system, like the best CD that came out or the best MP3. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing here with the movies, and I think Spielberg is going to lose to anybody who's young and go, dude, you're an old man.
And that's a very, very good point for people who now that's how they rely on stuff, is Netflix or Hulu or whatever, however they watch their stuff. And you got this guy bitching about it. You're like, screw you, man. That's how I like my stuff. That's how I view it.
Yeah. There are people like you that just don't ever want to go to the movies, where me, there's just like, I can't wait to go see Captain Marvel on Thursday. We're going to see it in a theater because I just want to have that big screen experience. But I think it's great that Netflix lets folks see movies that are great movies that maybe would never, ever be seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I just, minus the popcorn, I really don't miss going to theaters to see. I really do love.
If you could find a way, could you find a way to get one? How much one of those things cost? If you get one of those, like a real professional movie popcorn machine with the butter. Because to me,
I need the butter dispenser.
The butter dispenser.
I don't even know if that's really butter. It's just some yellow liquid.
Don't put it like that, R. Kelly. Don't just call it butter.
Like the R. Kelly special.
Yeah,
extra R. Kelly, please.
Yeah, don't call it that. Oh, all right.
What was the last movie you saw in theater, Steve?
Whatever was on 40X.
Gone with the Wind. He saw that live.
No, it was either
Panther?
Avengers. I think Avengers. Which one came out Was it Black Panther?
No, it was Avengers. You saw Avengers.
Avengers.
The last Avengers.
That was the last movie we saw.
See, my last one was Black Panther.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, you didn't even see the Avengers movie?
No, I don't watch any of these movies.
The
only one I saw was Black Panther, and it was because I wanted to go hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, is that? I was going to ask you, why would you go see that? But it was because you're hanging with us.
We all went just to see if the Rev would get sick in the 4DX.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for that.
We have a winner.
Worth $25, I tell you.
One and done.
I thought, that there was going to be water on me, but what's this chunky liquid that's coming at me?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
That's the patron, sir. That's just a bonus at the 4D theater.
Like, I kind of want to see the Fighting with My Family movie. That's the one about Paige that's made by The Rock and all that, and I'm hearing it's got good reviews, but once that moment passed rather quickly, it was just like, I really want to see it. And then it was the weekend. I'm like, I don't feel like going to a theater to go see it. I'll just wait for it to come out. It's probably going to come on demand within the next couple of months.
Yeah, you don't feel any sort of pressure to support it?
No.
Yeah, I sometimes feel
I'm going to buy it on demand, so they get money from that, don't they?
I think they would rather see you go to the theater and then also go do that. I mean, that's what my brain tells me, is that they want support everywhere. If I really love something, that's why I went and paid full price for the CBS All Access app, because I want my Star Trek, and I got to do the full meal deal, because there was a few other things I didn't back, and I waited, and they stopped doing it, and I was like, okay, I didn't put where I got to do it.
Some of them have a point I never even thought of doing. You can get popcorn at a movie theater without a ticket. Just walk in and get the popcorn and leave.
Oh, yeah, huh?
I never thought of that either.
Dude.
That is a life hack. Some movie theaters you have to have a ticket to get in the door, but most of the...
No, you usually have to get in. You can walk in, and then you just have that ticket to go into the main room.
Fancy Bellevue Square doesn't do it that way.
Yeah. There's the Grand Cinema down in Tacoma that has amazing popcorn, and they will just let you walk in, get the popcorn, because I have a friend who lives across the street from there, and he'll do that.
I wonder.
Wow.
I'm going to ask Bellevue Square, because they make the money off that anyway. They don't really make a lot of money off the movie, so if I want to just buy their food, why wouldn't they let me in?
We could start a popcorn delivery service.
Yeah.
See, I bet you people would buy it, and we just deliver a movie popcorn.
Call it drop corn.
Yeah.
Drop corn. I like it.
You guys, seriously, Steve is wearing off on you guys, okay? He's rubbing off on you with these dumb ideas.
With amazing ideas?
Yeah.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, let's see if they happen.
So I was going to say, does Uber Eats cover movie theater popcorn? But if we have drop corn, then we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, right?
We have a lot of people listening to the show, a lot of Microsoft millionaires. Have you noticed none of them have ever called you about your idea?
No, they're just flat out taking them.
Oh, yeah. I thought about that.
So it says Fighting My Family is a great movie, Steve. You should check it out.
I will. Get some drop corn.
So it says, Steve, if you won the lottery, you'd probably build a state-of-the-art studio for podcasts and a movie theater just for the popcorn. Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
My basement would be a movie theater.
Yeah.
You would have the best house that no one would be allowed to go to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a mother-in-law house that has all the awesome stuff.
Exactly.
And my wife doesn't even have a key to that house, because then I can let people come over.
Well, yeah, that's your house.
Right.
Heck, you won $877 million,
BJ,
right?
it's our house.
Even if you win $877 million?
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll have to figure this out.
I've already started drawing the line with my wife. I'm going to tell her, look, that's not your place anymore. You get to come visit.
I have a 4DX theater downstairs.
Whoa. All right.
You can watch anything on that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
No, Steve's not going to have any of it. This is why you won't win the lottery. You will big head that money away so quickly. You'll just spend it all like an idiot.
$800 million. I feel like I could get that. I can make that last a while.
I bet in a year it's gone.
No.
Oh, yes. With all your projects, gone in a year.
What do you think a movie theater is going to cost me?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe
a 4DX movie theater you want to build in your house.
Yeah, it's only like, what, 60,000?
I would say at tops $100,000.
A 4DX?
Yeah.
With the movable seats? How many people are you going to have in there?
Like 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's not doing a whole theater. It's a couple.
Okay.
And you know what? One doesn't have to have anything, because that's the Rev seat.
Exactly.
All right.
See, I respect you, Rev. I'm going to make sure you have your own special seat in the 4DX.
Okay.
It could be a toilet.
No, you guys really?
Oh.
So you guys don't think Steve would blow $800 million in a year?
No.
Well, chance.
My God.
I mean, if he really puts his mind to it, sure.
That's the problem. He won't put his mind
Dude,
to
I'm going to live a humble life.
And then he's going to move the movie theater a couple times, like B-Head moved the pool. You watch.
With a podcast studio,
Yeah.
a movie theater,
Humble life
a
over
wrestling
here.
ring, because you've brought that up in the past.
You'll have a wrestling ring.
Yep, there definitely will be a wrestling ring. Full, like almost like a little a mini arena.
I feel like you would build a town, like a mini town where maybe your buddies could live in it.
I would love to own a housing development.
Right.
I would buy a whole housing development,
Here's the
and
thing.
all my friends would live in the housing
Oh,
development.
yeah, that won't cost much. Nice.
Yeah, and then they can pay rent or mortgage, so he's making money back. You calm
He's
down.
making money back. You know what?
Charge my
Seriously,
friends. They can pay the taxes, though.
There you go.
You know, you've said that you and Steve, all of you are financial idiots. I'm not listening to any of you.
You can have a roller coaster so we can all get to each other's houses houses, and they could pay admission on the roller coaster if they want to come visit you.
Why are you listening to this
great
idea? Mr. Blowing that money in a year.
See,
A roller coaster that just goes through the entire neighborhood. Like, it's almost like a bus system, a subway system, but it's a roller coaster.
Oh, now we're building a subway. Okay, all right.
Just
This
for
is
the
perfect.
development. It's not that big, BJ.
No,
I
not at
know
all.
some people. They'll give
Maybe
us a
30
discount.
houses.
800 million gone in a year. I'm not going to 6 months. It's gone in 6 months.
And also, it's going to be a gated community because
Yes.
on the nights that we all get freaking wasted, the gate's shut so no one can leave. And we can just...
And then the purge happens?
Yeah.
That way no one
The
gets
purge
hurt.
happens.
Nobody does anything stupid.
Oh, okay.
And it just, maybe get on our golf carts and we can just drive around and be idiots.
Yeah.
And no one's going to get
Now
hurt.
we have golf carts. This is, you're not going to
Monster golf carts.
You're hating me.
With
Yes.
big tires.
Oh, that won't cost any money. You're right. You guys are right. Steve won't blow this money
You
at all.
are hating so much, Steve. Don't give him any money if you win the lottery.
He won't have any money to give me when you idiots execute this
You
plan.
can have one of the houses.
Yay, thank you.
Miggs Land. I just named it, so I
Cut
got
out
to.
one of the houses and have it be the wrestling arena.
I don't need any of your money. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm just going to buy your town in foreclosure is what I'm going to do, and I'll get it for like $10. I don't need any of your money. I'm just
have
going
a
to
hockey
wait.
rink and cut out another house.
I cannot wait.
Oh, we know a contractor, right? This is how we get Steve's money.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to the bank right now and go, look, I got a little inside info. There's an idiot who just won the lottery. I want in on the foreclosure.
We could rent it out for like small parties of our choosing and make money back that way too.
Yeah, people can rent out the facilities.
They can even ride on the subway, but they can't come into the houses.
Yeah, okay, good call, guys. I'm really excited about this now. I'm very excited. All right, it's time for listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show, 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Whatever you want to talk about, you want to live in Steve Town, your calls, your text.
That's right.
Oh, sorry. Calls and text at 917 on the Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Yes, it is Listeners on the Loose. Brought to you by Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. Hey, Steve! Yeah. Stop freaking! Call Beacon.
Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
Listeners on the Loose, this is where you pick the topic. You guide the show. Whatever you want to talk about, get to us, 206-421-ROCK. Text to us at 77999. And it doesn't matter the subject, the topic, whatever it is, new, old, but do remember, Steve does have a rule.
It's a simple rule, BJ. That's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, you will be gone, and we'll have to say goodbye to you.
Goodbye, old friend.
And also, if you do stay a little too long, if your welcome is just getting a little worn out, then we'll just, we'll tactfully play you off the stage. Yeah. Just remember that as well.
So that just means you kind of sucked, but you didn't really suck.
Yeah. So be happy you didn't get the gong, but realize, do you need to thank your, second cousin? No, you don't. Get off the stage. Jesus. All right, it's Listeners on the Loose, 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Chris and Kent, you are on the Rock.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Kent, welcome to the show. I should say, Chris, rather, welcome to the show. What you got for us?
So last week, y'all were talking about like the first beer you had and like the first thing you ever got drunk from.
Yeah, what about you, man?
My first beer is not really a beer because it was a Zima.
Oh, there we go.
Zima, baby.
Wow, who did that to you and why did they hate you?
It was my brother, and I was like 17, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had a Zima.
Oh, you haven't?
I don't think I have.
It's
Is it
like alcohol Sprite?
Yeah, okay.
Not good.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like it could be a good... did they do that for, like, I don't know, people that just didn't like beer, but, like mixed drinks and thought this would be a nice thing? Or,
Yeah, it was the malt liquor sort of just nastiness that was a fad back in, the 2000s, mid-2000s?
I feel like it warmed us up for the hard lemonades.
So did you actually get trashed on Zima? Because when I had my first beer, it was one Budweiser. I didn't get trashed on the damn thing.
No. The first thing I ever got trashed on, it's Sarah there, because she and I connect very hard on this one.
So what did you get trashed on?
He asked if Sarah was in here because they're going to connect on this one.
Oh, thank you, Danny. I totally missed that.
Speak poor phone signal.
Yeah.
Sarah is in the other room pretending to do other work. So how would you guys connect?
Was from Franzia.
Oh, yeah, Box Wine. That's right,
And
Sarah.
I had to know if she ever done Slap the Bag.
Oh, has
Sarah come in here?
Come on in, Sarah. Let's see if she slapped
I want
the
to
bag.
find out if she slapped a bag.
Every once in a while, she slaps me, but I don't like to be called a bag.
You're an old hag.
Yeah, oh, that's what it is.
Yes,
Slap the hag.
Slap the hag.
All right, so Sarah, my daughter, who is the classiest of classy, she is basically the Mick from Fox TV. If you've ever seen Keelan Olsen's show, Sarah is the Mick.
Oh, hell yeah, I've slapped the bag.
What does slapping the bag mean?
You take the bag out of the box of Franzia, and then usually someone's on their knees, and then the other person's up holding the bag, and you slap it.
That's a whole different visual I have when you're on your knees slapping a bag.
Usually I'm on the knees. Someone's slapping it for me, you know?
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking that question, Chris. That's just delightful.
Hey, that's how I got drunk my first time.
Wow.
It's really easy to. I usually drink the rosé stuff, so it tastes like juice, pretty much. And if you're just on your knees, you're just guzzling it down.
Mama needs her juice.
Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, you're wasted.
I have to say, Chris, that's, a Zima and then a boxed wine for you getting trashed. That is definitely a different experience.
Pretty basic.
That's awesome. Appreciate the call.
Living the basic life.
Living that basic life.
Hell yeah.
The thing is that Sarah still goes for the boxed wine.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the thing. It's not like...
It's cheap, and you get so much.
Yeah, there is that.
Do you ever go high end and get that black box?
I have, actually.
Is it higher end? Do you feel fancy?
I feel fancy, but it's the same kind of drunk, and it's the same kind of hungover.
Oh, look at that.
Terrible.
How about that?
Yeah.
Terrible. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. It's listeners on the loose. Let's go to Juan in Lakewood. Juan, you are on the Rock.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Not too bad, Juan. What you got for us today, buddy?
Hey, you guys were talking yesterday about the movie star crushes you have.
Yeah. How about yours?
I have two of them. Linda Carter.
Oh, the original Wonder Woman.
The original Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
She still looks amazing. Linda Carter, I think, is close to 70 now, and she looks great.
She still looks, yes, she does. And Brooke Shields also is another one.
Oh, Brooke Shields was the it girl back in, what was it, the 70s, 80s that Brooke Shields
80s.
was?
Yeah,
man. I was not that crazy about Brooke Shields, but a lot of people were.
For me, it was Paulina Poroskova.
Oh, you were so mad at Rico Kasich, weren't you?
Well, I was proud of him. An ugly guy got a hot chick. It gave me hope.
Well, actually, you know what? You did pretty good for yourself. I think, he did inspire you.
Yes.
Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Of all time?
Man, it depends on the day. It's like asking me what's my favorite Metallica record. Right now, I always lean towards Roddy Piper. I know I can understand. Right now, I lean towards Roddy Piper, but it depends.
Yeah, he's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Nice.
Awesome, man. Good talk, Juan.
There you go. Juan's one of those guys that, you know what? It doesn't matter what you think. It's like he's the Rock. Hey, Steve, what about... It doesn't
matter what you think.
Yeah. The
I didn't say that Metallica was my favorite wrestler. I was just making a connection that when someone asks me what my favorite Metallica record is, I can't ever give the same answer. Yeah. Depends on where I'm at in my head.
Yeah. Doesn't matter anyway what your favorite wrestler is. It's not like we're going to wait for the answer.
No. Yeah. I do like that he had the same favorite wrestler, though.
Roddy, for me, the reason I give him is that movie, They Live.
They Live.
Yeah,
yes.
chewing bubblegum, baby. To me, that put
chew bubblegum and kick some ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey, that puts him over the top for me because he transcended the wrestling world, which, a lot of dudes have done. Of course, The Rock is the most famous, but that says a lot, I think. It shows that there's great talent in the world of wrestling outside of being able to physically do what they can do.
And that guy just did not give an F. I mean, both as his on-screen camera, his on-screen wrestling persona, but also behind the scenes. Like, whenever you listen to interviews, I mean, he was just unapologetically himself.
Oh, I didn't know that about Roddy.
I was watching an interview. He was on, it was on some TV talk show. It might have been like, not Regis, but...
Merv Griffin, maybe? Mike Douglas? It feels like those were the guys at the time.
I'm trying to remember.
Dick Cavett?
It was Politically Incorrect.
Oh, with Bill Maher.
It was him and a few other wrestlers.
Oh.
And Bill kept... he was being respectful-ish, but... taking a shot at the wrestling industry, and at one point,
Bill does that.
Piper's just like, "Oh, you think it's all fake?" And he just takes off his pants, and he's like, "Do you think these injuries are fake?" And shows like bruises on him. Like, what's like the rest of the people on the panel, like Bobby Heenan, and everyone else, are like,
Yes, Roddy.
This isn't helping our cause. You're just taking off your pants during an interview.
That's fantastic.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it irritates me that Bill Maher gets smarmy like that. I really want to. I like a lot of things that Bill Maher's done. I've defended him over the years when he lost his show.
Right.
But he's just at this smarmy stage of his life, and it's like, come on, Bill. You don't have to be that guy.
And even like he was like, it was an innocent thing he said, but I think at that time in that world of wrestling, like everyone was just so on edge whenever you would try and throw the fake word at them.
Oh, right.
Because like, yeah, we get it. Like everything's predetermined, but these injuries are real. They're not fake.
Yeah.
And so that obviously Piper's an old school dude, so he just kind of went off the deep end, and it was awesome.
As a fan, it's got to be awesome, Steve, that you don't have to answer that anymore.
Oh, you still do.
Well, I feel like somebody who does that is so out of touch.
I was at some event with family and friends, and someone found out, like, I'm a fan of wrestling, I'm involved in wrestling, like, it's fake, right?
See, that's
I don't care. It's because then I always come back and I'm like, what's your favorite show? And it's almost like they feed it to you to look like an idiot. He's like, Walking Dead. I'm like, those zombies aren't real, right?
Yeah, they are, Steve.
And he just kind of looks at me like, I don't understand. And I'm like, wrestling is entertainment, man. It's I don't watch it like it's a sport. Yeah, there's athletic stuff going on, but I'm not watching it like baseball or hockey or football. I watch it like an action movie. Wrestling is like, to me, the most awesome action film done on a live stage. And that's what I view it as. And so when people go down that road of trying to like compare it to football, I'm like, you're an idiot. It's not a sport. We know who's winning. They know who's winning. I don't, but you know what I mean?
See, as a man, I would school those other men. You sound out of touch when you give that line, it's fake. Yeah, 20 years ago, that was a cool line, bro. But now it's, 2019.
Yeah.
Nobody says that anymore because, like you said, Steve, everybody appreciates what it takes to be a wrestler. Whether you like it or not, you appreciate the professionals, the performance, the physical routine. The Rock shows that, you really have to have it all to be great in wrestling, and he did have it all.
Oh, he was the best. One of the best, at least. I mean, some people say, hey, did you hear about King Kong Bundy? Yeah, we talked about it earlier, man. That's such a bummer. 61 years old, and he passed away. And for a lot of us, even people who aren't wrestling fans anymore, but when they were kids, everybody remembered King Kong Bundy in the 80s because he was Hulk Hogan's big nemesis.
Yeah, he was.
That big blue steel cage match they had, I think it was WrestleMania 2.
That was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't even a wrestling fan then, but I mean, you just knew those names. It was that big in popular culture. Yeah, I got no time for guys that just sound like they're dated. And I'll tell anybody that's talking to me, I'm going, do you want to sound like your contemporary or do you want to sound like an old idiot? Because I think men have to help each other out. Just like people that make fun of geeks going, oh, you're still in your mother's basement? I've heard people in our business do that to guests, and I'll take them aside and go, boy, you sound like an outdated radio guy. Thanks for making our industry look stupid because you're just stupid yourself.
So you get pissed about it.
I do.
I laugh it off because I'm just like, what are you going to change the mind of a person that has that mentality?
Me, I'm a steamroller. I'll change their mind or I'll give them an emotional beating.
Well,
I'll have them go see therapy.
I'd rather go get like a pretzel and a beer and just hang out and laugh. And if you don't agree, if you think what I like is stupid, that's cool. But can we drink? Listen, can we have fun?
I didn't say that your way is not a better way. Right. I didn't say that my life is filled with not filled with misery because of it. You pick the topic. You guide the show. Sure, that's still going on. It's listeners on the loose. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. More of your calls and texts at 933 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Andy in Puyallup, you are on The Rock.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Not too bad. Andy, what you got for us today, man?
Yeah, so you guys were just talking about Rowdy Piper and how he takes everything real.
Yeah.
Well, back in 2006, WWE was here, and he was doing a meet and greet at, was it Sport or Just Sport, that right there below the Space Needle.
Yeah, he was there somewhere.
Yeah, and so I wanted to get a picture with him of him putting me in a sleeper hold, and he obliged, but I'm a short guy, and he locked that thing in and picked me up off the ground. So I got this photo of me at 20 years old.
Whoa, he headlocked you and picked you.
Yeah.
How did that not hurt?
Oh, it did. Like I said, my photo looks amazing because it looks like I'm being choked out by Rowdy Piper because I was.
Oh, man, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have tripped out.
Rowdy does. he takes things very serious, and it was an honor, especially after we lost him a couple of years ago. I was really happy that I got that one photo with him.
But he was cool, dude. I mean, a lot of times you see these guys, and they sometimes seem like they're a little bitter having to do these photo shoots, which really it's like, why do them? But how was he?
Oh no, he was super friendly.
That's
he
nice.
shook, he shook hands with me. He signed my my WWE encyclopedia that I had, and then when I asked him to put me a sleeper hold, he kind of gave me a look like, "Are you serious?" I should have known then he was going to legit put me in a sleeper hold.
He's like, I don't usually get to do this to regular people.
That's like the new thing where a lot of times you go to like these indie shows, a lot of wrestling fans go up to certain wrestlers like, "Can you give me the chest chop?" The Ric Flair chop, and they'll take their shirt off, and the wrestlers are like, "You're just giving me a pass just to completely beat the crap out of your chest."
Yeah.
And so it's like this look of, all right, but a smile on their face, like, I'm going to hurt you. And then they do it. And it's just, you could just hear it throughout the entire room.
Oh.
And the person's hand, and then you'd see a giant handprint on their chest.
Yeah.
That look of instant regret, but excitement that their favorite wrestler just chopped their chest. It's a very weird thing.
I'm sure they get asked that all the time, but when you go to places like Comic-Con and you ask cosplayers to do weird stuff, like I had a thing one year where I had all the supervillains I ran into choke me in pictures. Right. So they look like they're actually choking me out.
Did you have any reason behind that? Was it just some kind of weird fetish?
I think it started off as a joke with one picture, and then it continuously happened for the rest of the day.
Kept the theme going.
And I weirded some people out. But it was fun.
Yeah. But you didn't get hurt, right? Nobody really went crazy.
How did Batman feel about doing it?
Bane was actually more uncomfortable doing it.
I don't like choking you out. I'll only break your back. This is Bane from Batman. We got a text message.
Freaking picky.
You guys were talking about how I could blow $800 million, which I still disagree.
Yeah, because that lottery was finally claimed in South Carolina. Somebody came forward and taken that one lump sum of $877 million.
Yeah, it was a $1.5 billion, and then after it becomes a lump sum, it's $877 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of dough.
Somebody texted in saying, I had a family friend who won $8 million in the lottery, spent it all in 2 years.
2 years? Oh, Steve.
So I was like, how the hell did you pull that off? And they gave us the list of what happened.
2 years, I think that's amazing that it took that long to do $8 million.
I think I could go a couple more years than that.
Oh, no, you're done in a year.
I would be reasonable with my purchases. I wouldn't get the full hockey rink and wrestling arena.
The only saving grace is your wife, but then for $877 million...
Her taste is more expensive than mine, BJ.
But I still think she's a reasonable person. Like, she's not going to buy a hockey rink and then buy and build a town.
True. She'd probably just get a purse.
Yeah. I mean, those things are reasonable. And also, you may be able to get those. You can sell those for consignment and probably get some of that money back.
I found one where they can put a little medium rink, 25 by 50, for less than $3,000.
Yeah, see?
He'll be fine.
He's not going to do a little. He's going to build a full size NHL rink.
No, I'd go like the small sheet, like the 3/4 of a. I like the small.
You're not going to recreate the home arena for the Devils, really?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'd make it more like an old school, like just old barn of a rink.
All right.
Yeah. See, I told you I'm very reasonable.
Oh, you're a reasonable guy with this.
But let's go back to the person who dropped $8 million and what they spent to drop $8 million.
What did they spend their $8 million on?
Houses, cars, boats, ATVs, land in different states for hunting. You name it. They spent it on everything and anything they wanted. He had a really good job, and they were 2 years away from retirement and quit. And then they burned through every dime they had trying to find employment again.
So see, that's sad.
Whoa! When you were 2 years away from retirement.
See, I
bet it was a lot of fun, though.
I guess, but
after that they divorced and they had to sell off all of their assets and didn't make anything back.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I'm too pragmatic. $8 million. If I got $8 million, I would be able to retire the way I want to retire, even better than I would. I mean, I am trying to get much less than that to say, okay, I think I can retire on that. But $8 million would make me feel like a king.
Yeah,
if I could retire on that.
So he says it'll take you 3 years to spend $1 million if you spend $1,000 a day. That would be fun.
You'd spend more than that. But see, you would, on average, you would wreck that and figure in a heartbeat.
But there'll be some days where I don't spend any money. Maybe I buy a T-shirt.
Yeah. Okay. I've worked with you too long and heard about your dreams and hopes. Your dreams they're just crazy expensive, just nuts.
It'd be fun though.
I know, that's the problem. You would have a great time blowing through all that money. You and I are so different. You would be like, the experience that I had blowing all that money would be worth at the end having nothing and going through everything.
Think about if you're in your deathbed and they're like, look back on your life. Am I going to be like, man, it was awesome how I saved all that money?
Nope. Yeah, see, for me, it would be. I would.
You would look back and be like, that was so cool that I saved money.
Not me. I'd be like, I created a great life for everybody else because I saved and planned and dispersed.
Do you know what your kids are? You think they're going to keep that going? They're going to spend that money as soon as you croak?
No, my kids. Well, Sarah actually is really good. Joey's a bit of a mess, but what are you going to do?
Well, Joey's going to get his first hand on all that money, I bet.
Yeah, he's going to, Sarah will scrimp it. She's going to be the old lady with the money in the mattress. Joey, on the other hand, Sarah's probably going to have to bail him out.
See, me on my deathbed, I'd be like, I had a freaking hockey rink, a wrestling arena, and monster truck golf carts.
You will have the better story.
Life was awesome.
It was only for a week, but it was amazing.
Right. The stories that will be told.
I was homeless then for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, was that a fun run.
No one's ever going to talk about me. They'll talk about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't talk about me. They'll go, BJ invested.
Oh, that BJ. Money. He was smart with his money.
He went and got a financial advisor. Big deal. Let's talk about Steve and his hockey rink in the town he built. Yeah. They would. You're right.
He got burnt to the ground.
Yeah, you'll be more
by his drunk friend Munson.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
And it was insured for double.
Yeah. No,
Vicky, Munson is rich.
Yeah. No, Vicky. No one's going to be that smart. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the show.
Someone was daydreaming about his millions.
Hey, Steve, you haven't won yet, Steve. Vicky, stop distracting Steve with money that he doesn't have. Vicky just they're showing you screens of hockey rinks and towns you can build. Stop it. You both got nothing.
Somebody said, Steve, it's funny how you said you used to be scared of King Kong Bundy when you were a kid. I was scared of the Power Rangers. LOL.
Dude, it is funny. We talked about, when you're younger and the sophistication of society today, and people laugh at the things we were afraid of. The story I tell is that I've read so many stories about how people in England were afraid of these monsters on Doctor Who called the Daleks, and they're just trash cans with plungers on them. They're the goofiest looking monster ever, and kids
would
really
hide. Dumb looking.
They would hide behind the couch of their house, and their parents would write letters to the BBC going, "How dare you put this horrific thing on television." People just, it's so bizarre what we were afraid of as kids that now we laugh at, including the bubble wrap mountain. Somebody was afraid of that bubble wrap monster in the 70s, and it was just a guy in bubble wrap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Green, was that greenish tint?
Yeah,
bubble wrap?
They painted it green, but it was just bubble wrap that you can put your stuff in when you're mailing. And people were afraid of this guy because it was in the mid-70s on a sci-fi show.
Looking at it now, it looks awful.
It's horrible.
Like, if you did this as a high school video project, you'd probably fail.
Yeah. And this scared the crap out of people. Again, we're talking over 40 years ago. Makes sense.
Funny.
So, the stuff that scared us, I mean, how about Sloth? Sloth was a freaky looking thing.
Oh, from the Goonies?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty freaky.
And I feel like if Sloth showed up in the studio right now, we'd still be freaked out.
Yeah, not me, because I've seen so many aliens, you know what I mean?
Oh, in real life?
I've seen so many weird looking people, whether it be on screen, off screen, I'm kind of used to it.
Pull up a picture of Sloth.
Yeah, he's kind of,
yeah, bro, that would freak me out if he walked in right now.
Still kind of would weird me out.
He looks fake to me.
What if he wasn't?
Well, I mean, what if
I'd be like, Rev, get a Baby Ruth quick. I know how this goes.
Baby Ruth.
Yeah. I see. I just
pretty realistic to me, if you ask.
If you ask, who should I ask?
Me.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure who I should ask.
You know what freaked me out when I was a kid was that Land of Confusion video with the Muppets.
Muppets.
Most of all, it was the Ronald Reagan one.
Yeah, that was twisted.
Yeah, that one legit freaked me out.
Hey, look, I was an adult when that was on, and that was kind of a freaky video.
I did not like that at all.
Yeah, they're twisted looking puppets on that one.
I couldn't watch The Wizard of Oz when I was a kid.
Because of which part?
Because
all of it?
No, well, all of it. Like it was the Wicked Witch of the West that scared me, just because I thought she was going to steal me. But also the lion, they looked too human for me to I would have nightmares about them.
The Cowardly Lion.
The Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, they just looked too real.
At the beginning, though, the Cowardly Lion scares you at the beginning until you get to know him. Remember when he first jumps out? By the way, big props to The Wizard of Oz. That movie was made in 1939, and for Danny still to be like legitimately scared of that movie, that says a lot. That movie does, I think, hold up pretty well considering when you realize the first movie in color ever to be shown on the big screen. And the makeup and sets were pretty awesome. And I was afraid of that lion when he first jumped out. You're like, oh, yeah. But then you get to know the dude and go, oh, this guy.
I thought the scarecrow was the freakiest of them all.
That too, and the flying monkeys.
Oh, the flying monkeys,
and
they're
the
so fake, and they're still. Yeah, the Munchkins are a little weird looking. The Munchkins are.
The witch was the scariest.
She was scary.
The lollipop kids were weird.
Yeah, I was witch, like she had some serious proactive issues on her face.
Oh yeah, the witch. Margaret Hamilton was awesome. Yeah. She was so good in that role.
I was so pumped when she was dead.
You mean in real life or just in the movie?
In the movie. I don't know if she's alive or
no. Steve, if she was still alive, that would be amazing. No,
I don't know. She'd be 100, right?
Yeah, I suppose. But Margaret Hamilton, I think she passed away a couple decades ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, guys, someone says you need to look up Dale Earnhardt's Jr.'s Western Town. He has his own town where he and his friends party. They even have a jail if you get too drunk. That's what you should do with your millions. From Justin in Tacoma.
He's got a Western Town?
Apparently so.
Does he let other people in, or is it just his joint?
I bet it's just for him and his buds.
Him and his cowpokes.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Look at that town.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
That's what I would do.
How much did that cost? See, that couldn't have cost a whole lot, though. It's just like all Western buildings, right?
What a great idea.
It's a really good idea.
I love Dale.
Because every little kid's a cowboy, right? How about Dale Earnhardt gets to do that?
I have my cowboy outfit. He should invite me.
Yes. You're in. You are in. Plus, you got $877 million, so I think you should be in good shape.
Wow.
Damn, dude, that's pretty awesome. All right, we have a question that needs to be answered. What do Ryan Castle and Tiny Tattoos have in common? I'm going to let you know at 9:48 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. He's the drunk in charge. Now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and Tiny Tattoos have in common?
It only hurts a little.
Just a tiny bit. Tiny tattoo. Mm-hmm. They both symbolize a lack of commitment, which is texted in.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
My ex-wife was a tramp for both.
She has a little tiny tramp stamp.
Yeah. And they both leave a mark on Steve's lower back.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Also tramp stamp.
Yeah. Well, the New York Post has had a conversation with several tattoo artists who said that ear tattoos are now the big thing. Celebrities like Rihanna, Miley Cyrus started getting them a few years back. Now everybody is jumping on the bandwagon, wants these ear tattoos. Wow, flowers, stars, that's pretty much what's going on. Obviously, it's more women than men. I don't know if I've seen a dude with an ear tattoo. They're cheap, though. They're small, and that's why people are into them. Cheap and small, just like... What, Ryan Castle?
Yeah, but some tattoo places, they have like a minimum of let's say $50.
Right.
I'm going to drop $50 for a little flower on my ear.
Or a little tiny penis.
Okay,
I'd drop $69 for that.
Hey! Ryan Castle, all he's going to be dropping is a 12-pack on your ass. He's up next.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
Are you going to have HR? I hope you have an HR department because I'm going to complain right off the bat with with the tag-along policy.
Yeah, you know who my HR department will be? Lulu.
Oh.
Go talk to her.
You know what? I'm happy it was Lulu. I thought you were going to point to your groin.
That would have been fantastic.
I thought he was really going to go, you know who my HR department is? Right here!
Oh, you haven't talked to my HR lady? Her name's Dee. Go over there. Her last name's Nuts.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How much does bankruptcy cost?
Well, bankruptcy costs, of course, vary depending on what type of case you're filing. There's a certain amount of court costs and other out-of-pocket costs that you're going to have in any case. The filing fees in a bankruptcy case are about $300, whether you file Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. One of the things to watch out for when you're shopping for bankruptcy attorneys or looking at the different cost options is that a lot of times, especially the really cheap places, don't tell you up front about all the court costs and whatnot that you're going to have to pay in addition to the attorney fees. So make sure that you get the full picture when you're comparing prices of bankruptcy lawyers on what the attorney fees are, how much your court costs are going to be, so that you can really make a true comparison.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
I'm Erin Ryan, political commentator, comedy writer, and host of Crooked Media's Hysteria.
And I'm co-host Alyssa Mastromonaco, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff for President Obama.
Each week on Hysteria, we are joined by a team of hilariously opinionated ladies to discuss the headlines from the serious to the absurd.
We cover everything from reproductive rights to rom-coms and break down the political news of the week and cultural stories that affect women's lives.
New episodes of Hysteria drop every Thursday. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.